There are large incentives from the federal government to get carbon capture pipelines in the ground. But how do they decide where to put them? I break down the incentives for these companies and speak to an Iowa geologist on the impacts of sequestration.
There is no other technology that can lower the carbon intensity score of an industry more than carbon capture and sequestration.
That's the claim from one of two companies wanting to construct carbon capture pipelines through the central U.S. Summit Carbon Solutions and Navigator CO2 Ventures want to take carbon dioxide, a current byproduct of ethanol producers, and compress it into a pipeline for underground sequestration.
Carbon is a characteristic that is beginning to determine the value of the goods and services and materials that we're bringing to market. We are beginning to see carbon-based valuations put on those goods and services. And so businesses are beginning to look at how do we invest in the critical resources, the process improvements, the infrastructure that is necessary to be competitive in this carbon economy that we have evolved into.
That carbon economy is getting a big boost from the federal government in the form of tax credits. CCUS, otherwise known as the Carbon Capture, Utilization, and Storage Tax Credit Amendments Act of 2021 and the Net Zero Act of 2021, or the Negate Emissions Zero Act of 2021 as it's referred to, extend 45Q tax credits for direct-to-air capture projects. Now, direct-to-air capture, or DAC projects, are for carbon technologies that can remove carbon from the atmosphere and store it or sequester it geologically, which is what Summit and Navigator pipelines want to do with these projects. While the government tax credits for carbon sequestration began back in 2008, the Net Zero and CCUS significantly boost these tax credits for these companies, offering a larger incentive to get these projects in the ground.
To me, carbon is the next great commodity. And it's a commodity that we're going to trade, and there's going to be all kinds of various markets globally that are going to emerge from this what I call the new carbon economy. I believe the carbon economy is real. I believe we're on the doorstep of it.
The goal is to take carbon dioxide that is currently scrubbed and released into the atmosphere and instead compress it into a liquid-like state and sequester it, or store it deep underground in geologic formations in Illinois and North Dakota. I spoke with a geologist to see just what this means from a scientific standpoint.
The emission of CO2 is a gas. And so the first step is to capture that gas, and then you have to compress it to the point where it turns into a liquid.
Ryan Clark is a geologist with the Iowa Geological Survey. He's studied these projects and others like them.
One term you'll hear thrown around is supercritical fluid or supercritical liquid. That's just a liquid under high pressure. And so you have to, in order to maintain that CO2 as a liquid, you have to maintain that pressure. That's where the depth comes in. So injecting it underground to a depth of at least about 2,700 feet below the surface is sufficient to hold that CO2 in its liquid form.
And that depth is important in making sequestration work.
That's where the depth comes in. And so 2,700 feet is kind of the number that I've always operated under, is that's your minimum depth of injection. And so what then has to happen is you have to find a place where there are rocks that are porous, meaning they have open spaces within the grains or the bits and pieces within the bedrock formation, and that they're also permeable. So those pore spaces have to be connected to each other in order for it to accept large volumes of this liquefied CO2.
These storage sites are also chosen for another reason.
One of the main parameters that decide whether a bedrock formation or an aquifer is suitable for CO2 injection is if that groundwater is considered non-potable, meaning it's too mineralized and the water quality is so poor that nobody would ever drink it. There's a lot of separation between where they're storing this and where the drinking water sources are.
But with this CO2 under so much pressure, is storing it underground really that safe?
One of the major concerns is the pressure that you inject and that you're imposing on that rock formation. You've heard plenty about induced seismicity with fracking. That is a concern. So that's why the pressure within that injection reservoir is one of the things that they monitor.
One question that hasn't fully been answered is what happens to the CO2 after it's sequestered underground?
It's meant to just get injected down there and stay there forever.
While pipeline construction or even sequestration isn't new,
We've been injecting stuff underground for a very, very long time. This is not a new thing. It might be a new substance that we're trying, but it's certainly not a new practice.
now those tax credits began in October of 2008 to provide a credit for the sequestration of carbon dioxide.